morning, guys. I'm currently heading down to Winter Park to go finish up the tune on the BMW. You know, just driving the daily, nothing special. That's fun. I love this thing. Unfortunately, today was not the final dyno day for the BMW. The wiring on the hob switch was a little funky, and that's what was causing some of our issues, but I guess the solenoid is still potentially bad on it, and it's just, the boost curve is super weird, and it's making the power curve super weird. So until that thing gets figured out, at least I have this thing, new and improved, to drive around as my sweet daily until it gets hot in Florida again. Just enjoying a nice homemade iced latte while I'm bleeding my coolant in my car. That nice idle though. Not super lopey right now. She's a little temperamental. I've just been buttoning up little things in the engine bay, just trying to get it ready since I'm actually going to be taking it to a drift event tomorrow. So just some minor stuff. Some of the stuff that I've done so far is basically add all the body panels, mount the hood, the windshield wipers. I also did like a quick kind of ghetto fix. A lot of dirt likes to come in through this triangular area. Last time I had like a pretty cool vinyl wrapped piece that I would press in here, but they broke. I would love to find a solution that works better for these. So if you guys know anything, let me know. But a lot of dirt likes to fling in the engine bay from there, so it's a good way to keep it clean just by kind of taping it over. But other than that, I'm gonna switch over my vacuum lines to some temp resistant stuff, and it should be pretty sweet. Gotta add the turbo blanket too. She's acting a little lopey now. I think I gotta raise the idle. Matt's about to go for his first ride. You excited?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to have you like kind of hold the camera like this so I can actually have two hands on the wheel. Not right now though. We gotta leave the neighborhood first and go to safe roads.
I'm not ready for this, guys. Alright, I was not expecting that at all. Oh my lord!
Is it rowdy?
Dude, that is crazy.
It makes me smile every time.
That was sick.
My smile gets stuck.
I can't,
It's so aggressive.
yes.
It's like, calm down.
That's nuts. Oh my gosh.
My main focus right now is trying to clean up this mess. One of the things I'm also gonna do is try to reorganize all the bolts from the SR and try to like put them in their own separate box. Also, another little tip, in case you guys ever need bolts, or if you're a person that's always looking for bolts or always needs little screws and random stuff for your car, a piece of advice that Alberto gave me, he used to go to the junkyard and just like rip apart old engines and rip apart pieces from cars to just get like a bag of random bolts, because they're so useful sometimes to just have laying around. All right, so word of advice, one of the many things that I'm doing as drift event prep was filling the car up with gas, and to fill up my gas, I need to get into the hatch in order to open the gas cap. Long story, but anyway, my hatch wasn't really shutting right, so you can actually adjust where the latch goes into, and I moved it down a little bit, but pro tip, don't ever move it all the way down, because now my hatch is permanently shut. It won't open, it won't release. And I climbed in the back of the trunk and loosened the hinge thinking I'd be able to do it. And getting in the back of this car is like climbing in a jungle gym when you're a giant, and I have to do it twice because I need Nicole's help now.
You should have let me do it.
This is when I wish I had interior back here. It hurts so bad. Oh, why did I leave the screwdriver in my pocket? I got it, but I don't understand.
Wait, don't let it fall.
Happening. Stupid hinge.
Just don't shut it
Honestly,
ever.
I might test it with me still back here just in case it locks again, because I don't have to keep climbing back here over and over again.
Poor baby.
What?
Poor baby.
I know. I have to climb in the back of my own drift car. Wow. See if it closes. Just look gentle because I don't know if I'm gonna get hit. You can drop it. I was just kind of in the get stuff done mood today, so I kind of tackled a few things, mostly just getting ready for this car's first drift event with this new setup. just kind of going over everything. My technique is to kind of just like look in little areas and try to find problems. So obviously I started here, and the only real stuff that I was focusing on was replacing these vacuum lines with heat resistant lines, just because we are creating so much extra heat with the turbo setup like this. I also put on the turbo blanket. It was kind of a pain getting down there with the twisty wire, kind of was difficult. Did a few aesthetic things. I also tied this fuse box down a lot better with some zip ties. You guys noticed that it was flying around in the dyno video, so I figured I would do that for you guys. I got some terminal covers on because that is one of the things that they ask for at the drift event, as well as a battery tie down. I got some terminal covers on because that is one of the things that they ask for at the drift event, as well as a battery tie down. Did a little bit of cleaning up of the wiring, but nothing too crazy in the bay. Just kind of going over, you know, bleeding the coolant again, adding more fluid, checking the oil. Everything seems good. And knock on wood, but I've yet to see 1 ounce of blow-by from this car. Well, I guess an ounce would be a lot. I have currently no catch can. It's just kind of venting, and there's no sort of buildup or anything whatsoever. A lot of you guys are asking, why didn't I paint the valve cover the same color as the car? Honestly, I kind of like the contrast. It reminds you of the old cream. You know, no, I'm just kidding. I don't like it. It looks, well, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. We did a great job painting it, but it definitely doesn't match the car. But the reason I'm waiting is I'm having an S13.4 valve cover made. If you're not familiar with it, it's basically taking the rear section of an S14 valve cover that has a slight angle to it and welding it to the front section of an S13 SR valve cover, so it'll fit my engine, but that slant in the back helps a lot with blow-by, and it looks pretty cool. I'll also have AN fittings on it, so I can utilize it with my new catch can. It's a cool little setup that I got from Toge Factory that has AN fittings already on it, and it's made so it'll actually bolt right up in this location here. I have to remove my windshield wiper motor, so I haven't done it yet, but when I get the valve cover, I'll get it painted the same color as the car. I'll have this in here, and then I'll have some nice AN lines running to it, and maybe we'll accumulate a drop of blow-by in here, who knows. Knock on wood, I hope I'm not jinxing myself. I think there's two main things that could go wrong tomorrow, in my opinion, that are possible and maybe even likely. I'm gonna go really easy with the clutch, but the fact that I have an unsprung clutch, plus the fact that my car makes 400 foot-pounds of torque now, plus the fact that SR20s suck and break a lot, there's a good chance that I will either break a transmission tomorrow or, fingers crossed, run into maybe another rocker arm issue. Although I have been beating on the car quite a bit, just, you know, enjoying it around town, and she's been holding up, so we'll see. Drift events are great for putting stuff like a new engine swap or any sort of car to the test because it jostles everything, moves everything around, pushes it to the limit, creates a lot of heat. So we'll find any weak links of this setup real fast. Starbucks cap is back, by the way. Just needed a little bit of modifications to make it work. Overall, it's getting there. Not too stoked that I have to relocate the MAF because having an intake pipe running through here is gonna look really ugly. It'll be nice when I don't have to use a MAF anymore. I don't like MAFs. They're ugly. But other than that, it's getting there, slowly but surely. There's things that I can clean up, but you know, it works. Overall, it's getting there. Not too stoked that I have to relocate the MAF because having an intake pipe running through here is gonna look really ugly. It'll be nice when I don't have to use a MAF anymore. I don't like MAFs. They're ugly. But other than that, it's getting there, slowly but surely. There's things that I can clean up, but you know, it works. Kind of a slow day, but tomorrow should be a lot of fun getting to take that thing for a rip on the track. Also saw some comments about my transmission and me complaining that, you know, it might absolutely break. I do plan on doing a CDO9. I actually have Collins Performance making me a CDO9 adapter kit for the SR. It's just a different version than their current kit where you don't have to machine the bell housing. He wanted to try it so I can just bolt it right up and don't have to wait for machining or any of that junk. I know when you put the CDO9s in, it changes the gear ratios and makes them a lot shorter. I kind of want to see what it feels like because I know with 2J cars it's kind of annoying because you can't rev out as much. But the SR, it might not be as bad and it might help you stay in that power range. Don't know what rear end gear ratio I want to do. Right now it's just a stock diff S13 ratio. I couldn't tell you the exact number, maybe 408, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, I'm still so excited and so happy about this. I've never thought that I would enjoy my SR as much as I do now. It's night and day. Like, I really didn't know what I was missing out on. And it's awesome to see all the comments, all the feedback, and all the hype that you guys have and all the excitement because it's great. It really is. I'm lucky. I'm stoked. I'm very happy and I'm so excited to drive it tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you tomorrow with a dope driving video. When you say